Alright, what's up, No Cap family? Look, we got a whole stage full today. But today we doing something different. You all may remember the Roger, Shannon, and Don from an episode we did. How long ago was that, y'all? That was what?
That was over a year ago.
I think it's
Maybe
probably
like
2 years, going
ago.
on 2 years.
Yeah.
And you know I done had Black Caesar on the show, so we playing a little musical chairs here today because, and first off, y'all don't know, but Miss Shannon is
Behind the scenes.
She doing a lot for this show behind the scenes, y'all. So shout out to Shannon. Thank y'all for doing this, Don. It's an honor, man, for y'all to come on and do this, help a brother out.
Oh yeah, it's a
You
pleasure.
know, yeah. This is big time. And today we doing something different because we got Black Seeds. Y'all know we got the Growing Pains 2 album coming. You know, so we want to definitely take this time to have a little discussion of what we've been working on.
Sure.
And they helping us out, so they got some things to pick our brains, on the other end of the spectrum today, man. So I'm excited about this, and thank y'all again for your time and being here. No Cap family, y'all ready to get into this? All right, about to see my brain picked. And shout out to Reese, man. Love you, brother. He behind the scenes.
Shout
We
out
can
to
swap,
Reese, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, man, I guess where y'all want to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're here to talk about the Growing Pains 2 album today. So we're very excited about that. Thank you again for inviting us to interview you. But we want to know, how did this collaboration come about? When did you guys start working together? And just tell us about your history really quick.
I'll let you start and I'll jump in.
Well, I'm just gonna say I met C's and Kane as a young man. I was 17. They brought me to the studio, and from there we recorded some records for Big Cat. And ever since then, at that time I was pressing my own CDs up hand to hand, selling them. They kind of got me in the big studio, got me pressing up more polished CDs at the time. We did some shows, and I think we basically just never stopped working,
Yeah, it's always been a good collaborative effort with myself and Domi, and the way that Growing Caesar came about is, we had worked together for such a long time, but I was like, yo, we should work on a concepted album. And at the time, because I did know him, I was like, look, let's call the joint Growing Pains, but we're not gonna stop at one project. We'll do it in a trilogy series. So I was like, yeah, we're doing a trilogy series. We sat, we talked about it, we picked the beats out, and everything else like that. So we did the first one, and then, a little time had passed and things like that. We've had a couple of situations here and there, and now we're releasing the second one. But it was something that we talked out ahead of time. We always knew it was going to be a trilogy of albums.
Okay. So with that and the history being there, would you say this collaboration was more of a business decision or a brotherhood?
I would say it's because I did meet him when he was 17. I was going through what I was going through. I was a middle-aged man, so to me it was my little brother, and I was like, yo, I seen him going through some of the things that I was going through at his age, or whatever, and we sitting in there, and I'm like, yo, you're doing well, position yourself to buy a house, position yourself to do this. So, because I felt like there was no one there to tell me certain things at that age, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like as being like a bigger brother, why am I just gonna talk to him about music? Let's talk about life. And we can also transition the life piece into the music where it makes sense. This is something that people will be able to relate to for years. Like, I think when we concepted it is when Jay came out with the 444 album. And I was like, he's an older man, but no one's listening to younger men's story, and they going through stuff too. So that's how, it came about.
Okay, good. And what kind of message are you guys aiming to share with this album? How is it different from Growing Pains 1?
So I think this message is it's a lot more mature, because in 2020, I was just saying this morning how you could just look back at just a year or two ago and still be like, man, I was young and dumb. Just that short period of time, just because you've grown and learned so much and gained so much wisdom from the experiences in that 1 year, few years, and it's been 5 years since the Growing Pains 1. So in that 5 years, a lot transpires in that 5-year span. So I think it's a lot more mature, a lot more polished, and going through a semi-tragedy in the midst of that, has even enhanced it more. So it's a lot of backstory, behind the scenes of my personal life that's shared. Growing Pains has always been a series of music where I was very vulnerable, to say the least. It's very intimate. If you know C's style of production is very melodic and jazzy. It's sample-based, boom bap-ish, some of the grungy hip-hop. So it's a little bit of everything. It's feel-good records, which is my favorite, Then there's some grunge, it's some heartfelt, it's some serious, it's some lyricism. So it's pretty well-rounded. I think it's even some heartbreak on there, So I think we touched on a lot of those topics on the first one, but this one is the more matured version of it.
I think not just mature, but I mean, it was a celebration. It was fun. Like, we actually, coming into this, it was celebratory. We were at better spots in life from where we made that first one to where we made the second one. We were just in different spaces, happier, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Just excited to, be able to enjoy. And even the way that we're putting this project out and everything we're doing is fun to me. Like, he asked me about 2-3 weeks ago, he was like, yo, what's got you motivated? What's got you moving? It's because I'm having fun with music again. I'm having fun with my brother. So to me, that's like the enjoyment of it. It's like not like we're doing it to just get a project. We're actually having fun during the process.
Yeah, which is important in this industry, in this business. Remember to have fun.
So the theme is growing pains, right? And I'm hearing, family in there, big brother, little brother, the mentorship aspect you knew when it was first starting up, and now here it is years later. Was there ever a time where you guys kind of had to like reintroduce yourselves to each other?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You were with me. You were with me. We went to Hurricane's birthday party, and I hadn't talked to C's in I don't know how long.
2 years.
2 years, and ran into him in there, and that was my brother, always my brother. We showed love. We hadn't spoke, but we seen each other. We gonna embrace each other. And then I think we did a photo shoot in there, and I invited him to my cookout. I was having a cookout. Y'all were at the cookout.
Yeah.
And I think they ended up staying till 4 or 5 in the morning, just hanging out. And at that cookout, he invited me to church. And I went to church, and that changed the dynamic with that. That's why Growing Pains 2 exists. And because of that, I guess, when you go through differences, and even if you bump heads with someone, you can still love someone and not really deal with them.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. But when you can reconcile that, it's special, because a lot of great things can come out of reconciliation, making peace, and then growing. We grew through this.
Yeah.
We grew into this spot that we're in now.
I say, on my perspective, this is the opportunity where, because he has grown, and things like that. And I think a lot of times because maybe when it's an older dynamic, I think we got like a 15-year gap in age. And, you know, this has been a time where I've been able to fall back and say, I'm gonna let you guide it. I'm gonna let you be the captain of the ship. Let me fall back and just enjoy, because there's things that he's experiencing, that he's learned, that I didn't know, and that I'm learning now, and being in a different stage of my life, growing, getting older, going through life and relationships and everything else. And it's like, okay, well, now we're at a part where I can say, I can sit back and listen and learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
So that's a major difference for me, just, you know, in the whole journey.
But don't you think it takes a lot for someone older than you to actually listen to a younger person? Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? A lot of older people don't want to take advice from the, you know. So I think that helps because he trusts me to do that.
Oh, yes, indeed.
You know, so yeah, driving the ship right now. But I'm doing well, man. We just,
Yeah.
you know, we we doing good.
So
Yeah.
creating this album, did anything push you guys out of your comfort zone? What did you find most challenging? Was the age difference challenging, the style of music? Did y'all always, I guess, agree on the style of music that you wanted to put out, or the message that you wanted to put out on this album?
I think, you know, we're at a point now where we trust each other. I can throw something out to him and he might not necessarily like a particular track I might pick or this, that, and the third, but he's willing and open to try it at this stage. Just like I was saying, I'm more and open and willing to sit back and say, okay, yeah, this ain't the way that we normally do things, but you know, things have changed, so let me acclimate to change. So I think that this has probably been one of the easier things that we have done. It's just kind of flowed. My whole thing with him is sometimes with him is he could get like, boom, excited, and once he had his mindset to something, I'm like, man, let's just relax. We're having fun.
Yeah.
We're not gonna overdo it. We're not gonna stress, because being older, I'm at a point now where if it affects my peace, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like, okay, let's relax, let's have fun. We're not gonna overthink it, we're not gonna overdo it, but I think he has enough drive to keep me engaged. Like, we went to New York over the weekend. I haven't gone on a plane in 30-some years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, to go and be in New York for the day, you know, that's transformative to me. That's something to me where it's just like, okay, I gotta open doors up to just live life more. You know what I'm saying? So just the experiences that we have between music, church, you know what I'm saying, friendship and all that, it's dope to me, because it's getting me out of my shell.
That's good. Just lean on each other and build off each other. That's fantastic. Was there anything that y'all worked on that y'all were kind of unsure of, if y'all wanted to add this to the Growing Pains 2 album? But then once you did, it was, oh yeah, this is it. This is the one.
Well, I think he has ideas and concepts for, he's a visionary, so he'll have a vision, and it's just up to me to execute it. So I think this project was a lot easier because the first one, you know, I would go in there as like a therapeutic music session and record them, and not knowing if I really want to put this out. I'm so vulnerable and stuff like that. So this one I said, you know what, I'm only writing and recording things that I feel comfortable putting out, because you never know what it's gonna. So this was smooth. It was just everything I do, I'm gonna be willing to put out, you know. And not to say that it wasn't still therapeutic, but I had a certain level of trust in what I was creating. But it's been fun, man. Did I answer that question? What was it?
Well, I'm gonna throw this in. It wasn't necessarily on the Growing Pains project, but there was a particular track in this God's Power. I did a particular sample. It was a Clark Sister sample, I believe. And when he first heard the track, he was like, "Nah, see, I don't know what you want me to do with this, I'm not feeling this at all. And I was like, yo, just trust me on this, like, trust me. Like, I hear you on this. Like, when I made the track, I heard him on it. And there was another artist at the time that liked the track, and I was like, but I hear him on it. What happened is, if we get to the point to where he records, I'm gonna put you on there. If he decides not to do it, then I'll put you on it, but trust me. So he went in, he did it in the studio, and this was at the same time we was recording stuff for Growing Pains, but it wasn't for the project. And he absolutely hit the song out of the park. I was like, yo, that's exactly what I wanted. So then I went back and got the other artists. Shout out to Saya. Saya came in, he put his verse down, and the record was so dope. Like, he performed it at the church. So it's like, it was a record that, you know, if it was up to him, it would have never happened.
Yeah.
But he did have the trust, and he allowed the creative process and God to flow. And it's something that, you know, people listen to, like, enjoy, and we can continue to use that song, so.
Yeah. It was an accidental success.
Okay, so it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the process you give him a track and then you write to it, or do you write lyrics, vice versa? Like, explain that process. How do you come full circle with the song, with the finished product?
It definitely starts with the production. And sometimes the production will come with a concept. And then it's just writing and recording it from there. So it's a pretty simple process. It's always the same. But, you know, the concepts is, you know, being a visionary like him, you have a vision for it. So like I said, it's just a matter of executing that vision to the best of my ability. And he told me one time, just try it. You know, don't go in like, oh, this is a hit record. Just see, can I make this record work? Can I do something with this production? So you get this, you know, you get records that I may not have been a big fan of the production, but because I'm willing to try it, you get records like that. Then you know, it morphs in, and you know, and there's a demand to perform this. You know, it's a demand to come talk about this and shoot a video for this. So everything just grows wings from just execution.
So a little bit of a competition. Which do you feel like might carry the album more, the beats or the lyrics?
I think they complement each other,
Yeah,
man.
they do.
Okay.
I think because I'm writing to the track, so the track, I'm basically just complimenting the production, really, or becoming a part of it.
Y'all sound like y'all each other's yin and yang, honestly. Y'all kept each other balanced throughout the whole process.
Well, I think that the style of music, when we work together, I don't think you're getting that sound from anybody else or any other producer that I work with, or vice versa. I mean, his sound is the same, but I don't think it's like, if he was to go get another artist and do a project, it ain't gonna sound like Growing Pains, even if it's
it's gonna be
his
completely
production.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to know. How would you describe your sound in music? I feel like sometimes it's motivational, kind of grown and sexy, but what would you describe it for? And if you have a new listener watching, someone that's curious about the album, how would you describe it to them?
I would say it's definitely, it's jazzy, melodic, and it's fun, and it's mature, you know. So it ain't the everyday hip hop you hear on the radio.
Is there anyone you can compare it to? Steph maybe, or something like that? Like,
I would say,
I like that Jay-Z's comparison earlier, the 444 album.
yeah,
Like you said,
it's with him, he's the type of artist where, you know, and I've told people, you can't really put him in a box as far as style goes. He can jump on, you know, a club record. He can jump on a boom bap joint. He can jump on, it's like you can't really put him in there, but I know when I personally work with him, he has a certain southern drawl to him, which brings something different to my style of production. So if I put him on there, just his tone, the way he does the record is going to be different than your average, you know, artist that would be on like an East Coast artist or whatever. Like he has his own lane. But when we put stuff together, I think that it's always thought provoking. My production style, when I break things down, is about a story. Like before the artist even gets it, I want them to be able to close their eyes and visualize it's a story. So when it comes out and he adds his story to what was already created, because a lot of stuff might already have a hook in there. Like I may already have sampled a hook or this, that, and the third. So by the time he gets it, you know, boom, he's taking it to something else. Like he's even taking song titles. Like we have a Sojourner Truth. Well, the sample is from an artist called Patrice Rushen, and the song is called Sojourner. So he looked at the title and it just became something completely different. So yeah, there's already a story there, but the sample was Sojourner. He named it Sojourner Truth, but it has so many different meanings when you listen to the song with what he did with it and the whole nine, which, you know, it's something dope. Something dope.
So let's say 5 years from now, right? What do you want people to be saying about this album?
Man, I want people to be actually using it when they're going through their personal growing pains themselves. Like this is something I can turn on and find something that relates to what I'm dealing with at that period. That's what I would expect people, and it's timeless music. It's not following any trends or present day fads. It's just hard truth and genuine honesty and reality. So yeah, I think it's something that would help people and they'll benefit from it, and something that they'll go back to 5-10 years later. Be like, I need some of that medicine. Yeah.
And Black Caesar, this is for you. I know I seen another interview where you said you started rapping, right?
Mhm.
So how did you transition to the producer side? And do you want to go back to rapping? Or do you feel like
It's
producer
funny that
is...
you should ask. As far as what the transition for me was coming up in a time, the accessibility of producers wasn't really there. Getting beats wasn't really there. Like you really had to go out and find production. Whereas now you can go online, you can type in produce, and boom, you got hundreds of producers right there. You can create a sound. For myself, rapping, that wasn't there. And if you had a fallout with a producer, you was like stuck, or you was just rapping over instrumentals. So for me, it was like, okay, I need to learn how to do this because I don't want to have to depend on, you know, someone else to do my production. So I started producing. I was still rapping at the time, and then shout out to Hurricane. He, at the time, I guess, going through so much, and things are kind of different. There was a stigma in rap now. You're getting a certain age, you really shouldn't be rapping. And we had a heart-to-heart moment. He was like, look, man, you dope at producing, like, focus on production. And I really wasn't writing like that, just going through my own personal growing pains at that time, raising a family, kids, this, that, and the third. It wasn't there. The capacity wasn't there. But now I got a lot more free time. I'm single. I got a lot to talk about. I'm having fun in life. So yeah, I have written up some stuff. I just need to go in the studio and record. But will I make it a full, you know, me rapping all the time? No. I'll jump in here and there, a verse here, a verse there, just on things I need to speak about.
So are you on Growing Pains too?
Production, no, but 3, that's the plan. That
Okay.
wasn't the plan. On 3, but we do have tracks together where I've rapped on before,
Okay.
on previous projects in the past.
But you have vocals on Growing Pains 1 and
Yeah,
2.
I do have vocals, but I haven't rapped. But I do have vocals. I do talk
Okay.
my smack on the Growing Pains, because, yeah, I talk a lot of smack.
I think the only feature is Reese. Reese.
Yeah, on 2, yeah, he's
Reese,
on the,
you're on it?
Mhm.
Oh, that's exciting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let me hear each of y'all's favorite track from Growing Pains 2.
Picking Cotton for me. It's
Okay.
a record called Picking Cotton.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. It's feel good. It's family friendly. It's inspirational. It's truthful, honest. It helped me through a lot of periods. Like I say, it's that revert back. I need that medicine. That record's it for me.
That's an interesting title, especially with these times and living in Fredericksburg, man. That's a
Yeah,
I
we
like
picked
that. I like
interesting
that title.
titles on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, every 2-word titles.
Okay.
Growing Pains 1 had 1 words. 3 is probably be 3 words. Just little nuances like that we put in and, you know, make it creative and intriguing.
I say for me, my favorite genre on that is Celebration Dinner. Is just because it's a fun, up-tempo type beat, and he just got on it and just rapped. It wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just fun. But the Sojourner Truth, just because of how it's grown its own legs, and the way we did the video, like, to me, that was very special because we was in the radio, in the record store, and you know what I'm saying? It was just organic to, you know, like my style of hip hop. So yeah, that kind of grew its legs. But yeah, those 2, yeah, would be my top 2 off this new joint.
Okay. And Dion, this one is for you. I'm curious, I know you said this album is about things that you've been through, but what else, I guess, gets you motivated to write lyrics to the beats?
Well, I think the beats tell me what to write. And sometimes I may just be feeling inspired off of some type of life experience. Whether I'm happy, sad, whatever I'm feeling, that I can pull, I guess, channel that emotion into creativity. And I always say this, I think about the greatest players like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. You know, it's not that they didn't go through stress and frustration and adversity. They just channeled it into their art, their craft, and that's what made them great. So I've just learned how to properly channel that energy, whatever that emotion is, and turn it into creativity. So that's where I can always conjure that up and create whenever, wherever, with whatever, whoever, is stemming from that. So that's a gem that I've learned and wanted to share.
All right. So I gotta ask, is there any songs dedicated to the DMV on this album?
I
No,
don't think
it's not dedicated, but I mean, we do have our joints. If you go back, he has a joint, the DMV joint.
DC?
DMV Hold Me Down.
DMV Hold Me Down.
Yeah.
I have to do that at every performance now.
And-
That is, yeah.
That's a big one.
That's-
That's one of my favorites, yeah.
Yeah, and then if you go back, we got a joint called VA Made Me.
Okay.
Which created DMV Hold Me Down. It's a
Yeah.
line in there, DC Hold Me Down when I go uptown. And I've created that whole DMV Hold Me Down with that one line.
And then we got the other joint. What's the the joint with
Oh,
Money Bags?
Yeah.
We got a video for that, but yeah. So yeah. I mean, you know, we always hold it down for the DMV in Virginia. Yeah. So not on this one. Maybe on the third one. Maybe.
Who knows?
But yeah, we already we got stuff for DMV and VA.
Okay. I'm curious, are there any songs that y'all created that did not make this album, the Growing Pains 2 album? If so, why not?
Not so much.
It was. It definitely
2?
was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2 in, yeah. First one. Well, first off, I mean, because he's putting sometimes personal things, and he's going so deep, and then you go back and you listen to it, and a little while later, you might be like, it's not the best idea to release that. We may listen to it and it may not necessarily fit the vibe of the project. So when we going through, we might record 20 records or so, but we're gonna scrap it, and we're gonna see what fits and what flows together. So I think on the second one, we trimmed the fat. I think we had, 2 sessions where we just kind of went in and said, yeah, we can scrap this or this don't fit. And a lot of times, some of that stuff, if it's not too personal, we will go ahead and drop it later. It might be a single, it might be something different, it might be on my project or his project. So yeah, it may not necessarily fit the project when it's done. So.
Yeah, just whatever didn't mesh with the sound of the overall project didn't make it.
Okay. And in regards to Growing Pains, outside of music, how are you two able to balance that, you know, collaborating with each other? Then you got your, both have families outside of here, you got work outside of here. How you guys able to make that harmonize, balance, and continue forward with the music?
Church, man, God's grace is incredible, always sufficient, man. So staying grounded with that, and then, you know, mentoring each other, you know, like, that helps, having a relationship outside of just music. So it's chemistry and camaraderie when we do go to create and record or whatever. It's you know, that personal level to stem from. So
I'll say on my side, I say where we've gotten from surface level conversation when we did the first project, you know, and I'll say this, and this is just in general to black men period, is we don't talk beyond the surface of things. We talk about sports, music, food, women, XYZ, very surface level things. Because we weren't having certain conversations in the first one, there were things that he was going through that I've already gone through, or very similar to what he's going through at this stage of life. But because we didn't talk about anything past surface level, you know what I'm saying?
right.
We ended up having a falling out over something that we could have very easily talked about. What really made Growing Pains 2 was because before we even started the project, our friendship reignited, our conversations, we talking to each other on a daily basis, we're talking about things beyond surface level. We talk about his daughter, we talk about, you know, my situation, like all these things that we talk about on a daily basis. So it's actually not just therapeutic, but it's also easier to create, because when we talk about something, I'm thinking as a producer and a visionary, you know, boom, okay, well, we was talking about this, and then it inspires me to go and make a track. Hey, yo, check this out, boom. So it's a whole different dynamic when we speak, and it's, like I said, and it's just good for black men to talk. Black men don't talk enough. I will say that. Black men don't talk enough. We need to talk about things beyond surface level stuff, because a lot of us are going through the same things, and a lot of us have the same hurt, but we're scared to talk about it, or we don't talk about it.
Sound like a whole nother podcast episode right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That gets deep there, but it's just, that's a fact.
So it kind of sounds like this album and this collaboration was therapeutic in a way, and maybe could help other people, young men, through certain situations that they may be going through in life as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this question is for both of you. Who would be your dream collaborations, famous dream collaborations, producer and artist?
Man, I would love to do a record with Nas, man. Just coming back from Queens is really, you know, like that would be epic, legendary.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to say if I was able to collaborate, it'd be, I wouldn't mind doing something with Nas, I wouldn't mind doing something with Rakim. Gibbs, Rick Ross. Yeah, those artists there with me on production and have Domi on there. So yeah, it would be a posse cut. Like, yeah, Nas, Ross, Freddie Gibbs, Rakim, Domi. Six. I'm gonna throw for off the bench Sky Zoo. Those six on one song.
Got a record with Skies.
I do got a record with Sky Zoo, but I don't got a record with you, Sky Zoo. Yeah, so yeah.
And I'm curious, how y'all came up with y'all names? Black Caesar, how did y'all come up with these names?
Yo, we was doing an interview in New York, and he says in the middle of the interview, man, I just realized DOW is your initials.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, Domi is short for Domino. That was my original artist name. I played off the Dow Jones with my initials.
Okay.
That was part of growth from your original.
Yeah, I was
Artist
young
name.
Domi back
Yeah.
then. You know.
When I'm in the Domi. For me, I've had so many names as far as hip hop goes. Black Caesar is the one that stuck. At the time, before Black Caesar, it was the main event. Certain stigma didn't go with it, but I love black exploitation movies. So Black Caesar is just one of my favorite movies. Of course, y'all can see the shirt here. Fred the Hammer Williamson. And it was also, if you think about it, I love like Roman, Gladiator, that time period, so Caesar. And if you really study, Black Caesar was also a pirate too. So you got Caesar from Julius Caesar. My initials are JC, Javon Cowan, Julius Caesar. So that, the black exploitation, which is the Black Caesar. And then there's Black Caesar, which was a pirate, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you go and look, yeah, there's multiple meanings behind the name, but it's the one that stuck and the one I like the most.
All right. So, what projects do y'all have? I know we're talking about Growing Pains 3. What else you guys have coming up in the future?
Well, he has out now, the You Should Have Been Here Deluxe version with another producer. I thought it was a fly project. Like, that's what took so long for Growing Pains 2 to come out, because we was all in the studio one night, and I'm listening to this, and I'm like, yo, put Growing Pains, because it was already recorded, we already had a video. Put that on the back burner, y'all come with this first, like, this needs to be heard. And I thought it was dope. So yeah, that's out now, dope videos for it. I got the Dusty Project out right now, which is a production album, but it does have 3 tracks with artists on it. Him, my boy Mike Walker, and my boy Saya, and that's out. So, and we got more stuff coming too, but yeah, those are already out, and I think they both dope projects.
I'm gonna do an R&B record next. I ain't told nobody that. I'm doing straight R&B, man.
Exclusive.
Okay.
Exclusive.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and we got some nice Christian rap joints too.
Okay.
Yeah, production and joints. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Just go and look us up. It's more than enough material with him on his joints, me on my joints, our joints together. I mean, if you want good music, it was dope because I was able to go through and create a playlist, and I can go hours with just listening to stuff that we did that's great music and go. So y'all have more than enough material to go and listen to. Listen to Growing Pains 1, listen to Growing Pains 2, listen to Domination, listen to the baddest MF on earth. Like, there's so much work that we've done over the years. It may be old to us, but it's brand new to y'all. So go and check out everything we're doing.
And I guess just to wrap it up, what do you hope that listeners take from this album, and what message would you want to, I guess, send them? Someone that is a brand new listener, they don't know the music at all.
I would just say, me just being so open and honest on it, I would say that's the key. Be unique, be yourself, be true to yourself, and don't be afraid to be yourself, because I think that holds people back quite a bit. Just being afraid to show who they really are. So I think that's the key message that I would want people to take away. It's just, man, he really went in there and revealed his true self and wasn't afraid to do it. That's bold, that's courage, you know, so that's what I would say, is the key takeaway.
I say from my perspective is, if you think about it, it's artistry. You know, in the last, I guess, 15, 20 years or so, a lot of artists say, oh, it's the game, it's the game, it's the game. And it's just like, no, this is not the game. This is not the drug game. This is artwork. This is music. We need to go back to respecting our art as a people. A lot of times when you look at it as the game, games are meant to be played. No, this is not a game. This is real life. This is real artwork. This is real hip hop, and that's what you're going to get. This is something that I'm proud of, that you can go back 10 years, 15 years from now, and it's still going to be relevant because of the hard work we put in, the creative process, because he spilled his soul. And I put in what I put in. It's artwork. So let's respect the art as opposed to it being the game. Like, this is real deal for us. This is art.
And I like what you say about that, it being a form of art opposed to the game. A lot of artists these days, you can't really understand what they're saying, and they're rapping to the youth, and they're just like getting the wrong ideas, right? So I feel like you send a positive message to the youth. Do you have any messages to send to the youth? Like, what would you say to them?
Even to speak to that, just being real, like not just, playing into the game, like he say, or, fabricating it, just being honest and truthful, genuine. Like, these are human beings, real people, that we going through real things, and so are you, so are the listeners. So just having them in mind with the music that you create, having a plan. Okay, I want this record to be created in order to do this, to get me here. Having a plan and a vision to think long term. I want this to represent me in this form or fashion.
Okay.
So I think that really is key.
I'll say for me on that, as far as the youth go, the youth is very important, is very prominent, and when you realize, we speak of legacy, we speak of, moving forward, we speak of everything like that. The only way that you can create a legacy is if you instill it in the youth. I'm at a place where I never thought I'd be. I've raised my own children, but I wasn't perfect. I can say, I wasn't a perfect man, but throughout the years, through music, I've been able to mentor and didn't realize it was mentoring. Now I'm older, I have a purpose, I can speak to youth, I can speak to the kids in my church, because I've been there and I've done that, I've gone down that road, and I'm not scared to try to be nothing but myself. They call me Unc in church. I work with the teenagers now, and they call me Unc, and to me, I carry that as a badge of honor. Like, I like being Unc. I like being an OG. Because I've lived it. I was told that I wasn't going to be, I wasn't going to live that, over the age of 21, 18. I'm 50. I got children. I got grandkids. I'm around youth. It's a blessing, and that I can get up every day and give my truth and my life experiences to these youth and give back. And the only way you create legacy is through giving it to the youth.
Well, that was great. Okay, tell your listeners where they can access your music, your videos, all the things.
At DomiDowJones.com.
For me, just type in Black Caesar, CEASAR, CEASAR. You can go to any of the streaming platforms, and all my music is there, and social media is either going to be under OG Black Caesar or, OG Black Caesar, or under my government, Javon Calma.
All right, this was a great interview. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you share this interview, okay? Share it with the youth, share it with your friends. We need it to be out there.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank
No
you.
cap, we out.